Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I just uploaded basically a vlog saying that I fixed a performance issue in the game. I just did a change that I have been thinking about. I guess I'll show you first. So this is render distance 16. That's quite a bit faster, yes. Let me put it into maximize mode so you can see. Okay, there we go. That's pretty quick. That is pretty quick. I actually didn't expect this to make such a big difference. I was thinking it would be slightly faster, but it's a lot faster. Um, so let's see here. So this, 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 and this used to utilize this. So Apache Commons has a serializable, I always mess up that word, but it basically can turn an object into a string via serialization and then convert it into a clone uh, via the internal utilities that they've created. And I heard that it was kind of slow, so I thought I would give it a try. So what I did was I turned off the extension or implementation of serializes. Um, and I created my own deep copy function. Basically, what a chunk is, right? A chunk is just an array that holds block data, 32,768, because it's 16 by 128 by 16. And it holds methods to work on that data. It's an encapsulation of all of that data, the lighting, the state, the ID, etc., etc. It's just integers. And so what I did was I separated out the memory. So this creates a new copy of itself, and it starts off as a blank chunk. Um, and this separates out the vector as well, because the vector is stored as direct. So it's consummation. Basically, it grabs ownership of this, or it could share ownership of a value, which would be really bad practice. But for the sake of this explanation, it's grabbing ownership of this value. And so when we're going to create a deep copy, like we're going to send this off to a thread, like we're doing, we don't want to give it any shared data, any pointers, any objects, whatever you want to call it, because that would be very bad. So that's why this is doing what seems to be a redundant thing. It's just to separate the data completely. And so we have the object copy, set data, and then so get data direct is giving me the direct, literally what the encapsulation of the entire existence of the chunk itself is encapsulating is the block data. Everything's working on the block data, etc., etc. And so there's two versions of that. There is the safe version, which creates an array copy, and there is direct, which is completely unsafe, and it gets the actual mutable reference to this piece of data, basically. So we're using that for speed's sake. And then when we set the data, what this is doing is it's doing a little check. This is just to make sure that the uh, boundaries are correct. So, and then it's just using the internal array copy to basically stream the data without creating any new data. It's just creating, or it's not creating, it's just modifying the state of the copy or the clone, whatever you want to call it. It's a copy for the sake of, I don't want to implement clone because clonable is a nightmare in Java with the exceptions and whatnot. Um, but yeah, it's just streaming its data into the copy and then it's returning the copy. And so we do the deep copy. And let me see if I can bring up the commit. I'll show you exactly what changed here. Okay, here we go. So you can see that this is no longer implementing that, and that doesn't implement it, and that no longer implements it, and same with that. And then, so this was using Apache's, hopefully that's Apache, I already forgot, but we'll just say Apache's serialization utils, the clone, and it was cloning it via serialization, which is expensive. It's very thorough. I'm not saying this is bad, but for the current use case, it was not ideal. But otherwise, it's great. This is like nice and safe to use Apache's serialization utilities. I actually am still using it in different portions of the code, and I might show you that, but for now, we'll just focus on the matter at hand. And so now we're using the deep copy function. And here we are with the deep copy. And because we are not using serialization and we are just using basically raw data and raw containers, and we're encapsulating all of that data within the confines of pure memory, it's way faster apparently. So one thing I haven't actually tried yet, where is my main? There it is. I wanted to do render distance 32 because this has always been a problem when I am creating different iterations of this game. And I don't know, let's just try it. Okay, that's pretty quick actually. You can see there's so much excessive data. Basically each one of these squares that make up the blocks are actually triangles. And so there's two triangles per face, which is one side of the block. And so as you can see, this is already quite a lot of faces. But when we add in this, what the graphics card has to do is basically figure out what's in front of what. And as you can see by my frame rate, it's a little expensive to have this many excessive faces, but I think we could get it over 100 FPS if we chop all of this out. This is all useless data when you're, unless you're using X-ray, of course, but you should use X-ray. Then it's not going to be seen by the player. You'll never see this outside of cheating, basically. Or maybe a glitch happens and you manage to clip into the world and all of a sudden there's nothing there. This, like if you clip in like this, you'll see nothingness basically. And you'll see the correct faces of everything else, but this will just be blank. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with this change. Like I usually play Minecraft on render distance 10-ish. So I mean that's more than acceptable for me. Holy moly. I'm not used to seeing the world load this fast. Yeah, that's pretty good. So hopefully you enjoyed this little video and explanation and whatnot. And if you'd like for me to make more videos like this where I don't have huge changes, but I have changes that are interesting, or at least I find them interesting, then feel free to tell me, and I'll keep making videos like this. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this little thing, and have a good one.